Hello, it's Marco here from Markham3D.com, and today we're going to go through and create Sci-Fi panels, and just a really quick way of getting a good result quickly. So let's start off. I'm actually going to delete the default cube. I'm going to do Shift A to add a new mesh and plane. I'm going to go tab into edit mode, size, S on the Y axis by pressing Y. I'm just going to double that size. Enter. I'm going to extrude on the Z axis by 2.5 blender units. So now we've kind of got this corridor which is 4 meters long, 2 meters deep, and 2.5 meters high. I am going to do a Control R to do a edge loop, left click, and then right click to set that in the middle. Now I'm just going to delete all these faces and these two side faces. I'm going to add the first modifier and click modifiers, add modifier. I'm going to add in a mirror modifier. Now at the moment nothing is showing because it's on the x-axis and we need it on the y-axis. So this is the basis of our corridor. Let's add a little bit of flare. I'm going to select this edge, Control B to bevel. About there. That seems pretty good. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some loot cups. Let's put about 4 in there. I'm going to size these two. And let's just extrude it back a little bit like that. Something very simple. Here's what we're going for. So at the moment we've got our base. This is our base. This is what we're going to have the corridor kind of looking like. I'm going to do Shift D to duplicate it and right click to put it back in the same spot. I'm going to, let's label these. So the first plane I'm going to call base mesh. The second plane I'm going to call high mesh. So I've got the high mesh selected, add modifier, and let's go Solidify Modifier. I'm going to set the offset to 0. And now what we can see here is I'm going to press 5 to go into orthographic mode, and I've pressed numpad 3 to go into side view. So at the moment you kind of see we've got this thickness. Now if I press tab to go into edit mode, we can see that we've got these lines now. So this is the actual mesh, but using the modifier it's gone 0.005 up, 0.005 down. And so this is how we've already got kind of our panels in a way, but we've got to work it a little bit. So I'm going to go press Z to go into whatever mode this is. This will be a wireframe mode, so I have a bit of a mind blank there. Now, first off, I'm going to, we'll enable clipping for now. I'm going to select the floor panel. I'm going to press I to indent. And then I'm going to do a bevel, Control B, 0.005. And then I'm going to delete those faces. So now what this has left us with, if I press Z to go back into solid mode, it's left us with this. And so we've kind of already got a floor panel. I'm going to go back into edit mode, go back into wireframe mode. I'm going to do a Control R. And now I'm going to select these two faces. Now if I press I, we kind of select everything grouped. But if I press I again, we've got individual faces. So I'm going to select these, Control B, 0.05, and delete that face. Let's go up here as well. Now I'm going to create some lights up here, but I don't want it that thick. So I'm going to do a Control R, mouse wheel up, and now we've got it in 2 sections. And let's do the II again. Control B, 0.05, delete faces. Now, what else could we do? How about we go put an R here. I am going to do 2 edge loops, 2 edge loops, and these are the middle points. Select them, Control B, 0.05, delete faces. And so now we've kind of got these panels. I do want to add a little bit more. Let's go Control R, and we'll do the same thing we did on the roof. There we go. Control B, 0.05, delete faces. So this is our kind of room, and I'm actually going to do these two separately because I can't do the double tap I because I want these two together. So I'm going to do I, what thickness, 0.05, Control B, 0.05. That didn't work. Let's get rid of this edge by right selecting it again. 0.05, delete faces. Whoops. I, 0.05, get rid of that middle. Control B, 0.05. 0.05, delete faces. So really, I almost could have mirrored this section as well. But oh well, let's continue on where we've got. Now the other thing I want to add, especially on this one, is I'm going to create kind of like almost like a way to lift the panel. So I'm going to select those two. I'm going to do another Control B and just add a little bit something different. I'm going to select this one and this one, make sure we've got those internal ones, size X. And so it's just kind of added a little bit of flairism. That's a word. So now what we have is we've got the base mesh and we've got the high mesh. We still need to pretty this up a little bit more. So I'm going to add modifier. I'm going to add in a bevel modifier. So now it's kind of got that curve business going on. So I'm just going to increase the bevel to 2, and that just gives it a little bit more rounded. And let's change the angle. So anything greater than 30 degrees will have it. So obviously like this bit doesn't have it. Which to me, that is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Now let's kind of, actually first what we'll do is, let's just update. So we've got these as lights. So I'm going to go into the material tab, double tap plus twice. I'm going to click new, light. Let's change the diffuse to emission. Let's just select 5 and settings, and we'll change this to white. Change this to white. And what we need to do is we actually need to go into edit mode, select these two faces, and we need to assign the material. So we can see that it's kind of changed color a little bit, so we know that's what's going to be. The other thing we need to do is if we were to set this as an array, actually no, let's show that to you first. So first I'm going to go to base mesh. I'm going to set up an array. And so what this do, we're just going to kind of create a corridor. I'm just going to go 5, but I'm going to want it to go the other way, so I'm going to go -1. I'm going to do the same thing for the high mesh. Add modifier, array, 5, -1. And so now we kind of got this going on. And I've already got, so I've already got the, this is what I was going after, is this groove to separate the pieces. I've already got that, so I'm pretty happy. That must be because of the bevel modifier. So let's just have a quick look at what the render's going to do. I'm just going to do a Control R, Control G, Control S, and that's just to reset the camera. And I'm just going to rotate it. Why? Kind of just do a quick rough position. Press 0 to go into the camera view. GY, GX. And now I'm just going to do a quick render. And as you can see, we can see those lines. Obviously, it's not very apparent, I guess. but with the correct lighting it'll all come out. Even if I were to, I wonder what it would look like if I were to increase the lights. I think it needs to go down actually. If I do Control B, I can select, I just want to render that little bit. And you kind of see that it looks a little bit better. Let's just up the samplings because I can to 500. Light paths, let's drop this to 1, 1, 1, 1, 4. Should be this 2. And F12. There we go. So now if I go back into edit mode, camera, Control B off the screen, F12. And you see that we're getting some pretty decent results on what we got. Obviously what you want to do is recreate. You can use the basis that we have and just recreate a whole bunch of different modules. I mean, we can knock out a panel for fun. Let's knock out a panel. So I'm going to select both. Right click, Shift D, Y. And I'm going to press Control to snap, then that way we can move it into position a lot easier next time. Let's get rid of these arrays. So I want to get rid of this array. I want to get rid of this array. So now we kind of got this. Let's say I want to delete that face. Let's go into edit mode. Control R. Control R. Control R. And now I've kind of got this box out. I want to extrude that box. Control L, Control N. Let's just flip those normals to be inside. And let's go Shift S, cursor to selected. And what I'm going to do is just create a little bit of greebles just quickly. Size Z and Shift D, right click, rotate, size, and this is a quick use of the spin tool. I'm just going to select there, spin, extrude, here, spin, -90. I do have another tutorial on how to use the spin tool really effectively. GZ. Okay, let's move that about there. I think that has gone a bit high. Control B, middle mouse button to cancel that. Control L, Shift D, Z, and we can just move it in there. And let's move it to the back. And while we're at it, Shift D, Z, extrude on the x-axis. Control R, Control B. Let's just select these faces. I, extrude. And let's just flip all those normals. We can smooth that out. Where's a smooth? Here it's smooth. Let's always add just the Bevel Modifier just to spruce that up. Change it to angle. And let's just bump that up to 2. And so now, let's change this array to 2. This array to 2. I want to select these 3 things. Control, Control, and then I can select both of these. Move it to the end. And now what we've got is now we've kind of broken up the hallway. And that's just a really quick way of creating sci-fi panels. I mean, this works on exteriors, such as ships and so on. and you can actually go through and bake this, and that'll be in a different video. But you know, this is what we can create, something very quick, something very simple, and you just get good results. If you would like to support me, please like, subscribe the video, and subscribe to me as well. And also on Markham 3D, I've got a support page. That'd be great. But thank you very much.